Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other cultures just know the man is going to be the caretaker or the provider. Like, other cultures just know.
She said black people are the only people that talk about money in a relationship. How true is that? Let's go ahead and watch the video to the end. Then we'll talk about it.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other cultures just know the man is going to be the caretaker or the provider. Like, other cultures just know that. But when I say it in the comments, like,
what the fuck,
this lazy bitch, what's she talking about? Every other culture understands the man is the provider and the woman is a nurturer. That's not even a conversation that they have because they already know it. They grow up knowing that. Yeah. Black people are the only people that see our moms do more than our dads. And so we have a reverse thinking about it. We think, oh, well, my mom did it so I could do it, or my mom did it so she can do it. That's why so many black women are unmarried, because we don't have roles. Gender roles are not a bad thing in marriage. Everyone needs to have their, if I don't know my role, how do I know what part I'm playing in anything? For sure. When you're on a basketball team, everybody has their position, everybody has their role. You need to know what your role is. And a woman's role is the nurturer, and if you have kids, the caregiver, and the man's role is the provider, and he brings in the money. He brings in the money, and the woman manages it, and that's how the household's supposed to run.
The lack of tradition in black culture is killing relationships. That's the main thing.
Hey, beautiful people. How are you all doing today? It's your girl, Maria David, and I am back again with another interesting video. So, compared to other culture, other race, black people, is black people the only culture or the only people that talk about money in a relationship? When we're talking about money, we're talking about going 50-50. When a man expects a woman, you're supposed to also drop while I'm dropping. While I pay NEPA bill, you're supposed to provide for food. While I do school fees, you should buy the school bag. You know, is it only black people? I would not totally agree with that, because when you're talking about black people are the only ones, I would say black people in Africa take responsibility. I give it to them. They do take responsibility. They do provide. They know that they are supposed to provide. It is when you look at the families in Africa, black people in Africa, if you see a woman being the provider, definitely maybe 2 out of 100, 3 out of 100 is very minimal. Because normally when you're going to a marriage with a black African man, is definitely going to be providing. In fact, if a woman has money, they already think it is the man that gives her money. It is like mentality, like, oh, her husband is taking care of her, but they will not know it is her money. So I don't know. I do not totally agree, because black people in America have different culture, but black people in Africa, they would hardly tell you to go 50-50 with them. They know they're supposed to provide for you, and they will go ends means to provide for you. They will provide, but because they are providing for you, they will treat you anyhow. That's just, there's good side and there's bad side. Because they are going to be responsible providing for you and the kids, they won't let you go to work. They won't let you work or anything. They want you to be full-time housewife. At that, you won't be able to have to make decisions yourself. You can't do anything, and they want to be controlling you. But because over there, when American black men, when they do 50-50, or when you are providing, you're providing, you can't tell me not to do anything. Like, I'm bringing the money to the table, you're also bringing money to the table. Like, make it make sense. But then let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section. I have few stitches to share with you all, so let us watch the stitches together. At the end of all the stitches, I will share my own opinion.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other...
And what doesn't make sense to me is that black men see this growing up with a woman, a black woman who have struggled to raise you, and you go, let me go get another black woman pregnant. Leave her and let her struggle just the same way my black mother did. I don't get it.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other...
This video is really interesting because she says that in other cultures, the man is the breadwinner and the woman is the stay-at-home mom. So I wanted to talk about my experience as a Vietnamese American growing up in a low-income family in America. Growing up, most of the Vietnamese American families that I knew, whether that was my own family, my aunts and uncles, or the families I knew from church, both parents were working. And in my family, my mom was the primary breadwinner and caregiver for the household, while my dad was working really hard but was only making about minimum wage. Now, I bring all this up because in her video, she says that other cultures follow traditional gender roles. But in my belief, I think that only works if one of the parents, either the mom or the dad, makes enough income to actually support the entire family. I think a better way to look at this is low income versus high income compared to looking at the culture of the family. Because if you grew up in a low income family, most likely your parents were both working in order to survive and feed your family. Compared to a high income family where one parent makes enough income in order to take care of all the living expenses and the other parent can stay at home with the kids. With all that being said, I think her video is a good reminder to us that you should be in a relationship with another person that has the same value as you. What I mean is that if you desire to be a stay-at-home mom or dad, you need a partner that has the same value as you and is willing to be the breadwinner for the family. On the other hand, if you want to be in a relationship where both partners contribute financially to the relationship, then you need to find someone else with that same value. If we start talking about finances openly and effectively communicating it with our partners, I think that divorce rates and relationship failures would go down. Again, this is just based on my experience and the culture that I grew up in, so I wanted to share it. Thanks for watching.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because
when I hear women talk like this, I just know the furthest they've ever been is Miami and Atlanta. You can tell what type of friend group they is. They don't have a diverse friend group. So being a provider shit and all this other stuff that y'all be trying to talk about, that is not a category. That is just a grown man taking care of business. I don't know why y'all like to put things in categories. Then y'all want to talk about airport dads. All of these are just responsible men. I'll talk about y'all don't want to be submissive and some y'all not his mama and all that shit, but y'all want him to pay all y'all bills. Let me tell you something as a man. If I walk in and I see my woman doing some woman shit with her little moo-moo and her bonnet on, I'm lifting that moo-moo up.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because
This is absolutely one of those conversations that I am utterly tired of hearing people talk about. Because for one thing, y'all are clearly in an echo chamber. Y'all don't spend time with other cultures. You don't even have to spend physical time with other cultures. You just have to get online and get into other women's algorithms so y'all can see what's going on in other people's community. There are absolutely cultures where it is 100% normal for the men to be paying all the bills. But when y'all make arguments about wanting y'all's bills paid, do y'all even know why? You know why you're tired? Do you know why you want someone to pay your bills? Do you think about what price that is costing the person who you want to solicit to pay your bills? Lifestyle absolutely works for people who go into it knowing what it is. This is the thing about Black people, especially people in America, because for one thing, the average white American woman is not having her bills paid, and I don't know why y'all are running around thinking that the average white woman in America is having all of her bills paid while she sit around in Lululemon going to yoga classes at 10 in the morning, while her kids are being watched at home with the nanny. I think this is how the average Black person think the average white woman's life is like, and it's not. They're at work with us. I watched them year after year after year birth multiple babies and are back before I can even blink my eye, as if they didn't even just give birth a month and a half, 2 months ago. Let's consider the culture that is America. Let's consider what it means to be American. Then I want y'all to loop back around to why the average person cannot have their bills paid. Also, in a patriarchal society that's based off of controlling women, why do y'all want y'all's bills paid? Like, at some point, y'all have to choose. You can't say you want your bills paid, but also want certain levels of freedom. You're not going to get that with the male species, period. Now, in a patriarchal society, absolutely, if you're heterosexual and you date cis hetero men, you need to be getting the most bang for your buck, and you don't need to be paying bills. You also need to be going into this knowing and understanding the full scope of this kind of dynamic in this kind of relationship, and I don't think people stop and do that kind of work. And someone is paying all of your bills, and when you are relying on someone for your fiscal needs, you lose a certain level of autonomy. Period. I don't want to hear about the, few non-average cases of men who allow their stay-at-home wives or stay-at-home mothers to just do whatever she want to do. She don't have to cook. She don't have to clean. She have a nanny. Like, most people aren't living like this. So when somebody is working all the time enough to pay all of their bills and all of yours, you need to understand that what you're giving up when you ask for something like that. If I ever decided to be in a relationship with a cis hetero man within a patriarchy, he absolutely will pay my bills. And if he can't, then we're not going to be in a relationship of any kind. But the type of dynamic I would need, most men aren't willing to get. So that's not something that aren't willing to give. So that's not really something that I ever actually hope or aspire or look to actually happen. If it fell on my lap by happenstance, great. Otherwise, I'm not actually looking for it. And this conversation is really old because I think what women are looking for and what they really desire is actually very different from what they think they're asking for or what they're being told they should ask for. When I see videos of, women in countries like Dubai and even certain African countries and different places who say, oh, this is our cultural norm, especially as an American, y'all need to understand that these women are, I don't give a damn what they say. They are in a patriarchy. They are giving up certain levels of freedom that American women are very much accustomed to. You're lying to yourself if you think it's all sunshine and roses and rainbows and fields of lilies being fiscally dependent on another person, especially on a cis hetero male. Y'all are comparing certain cultures, especially Muslim and Middle Eastern cultures and stuff like that, in countries where women can't even walk in front of their man. They can't even raise their voice at a man. They can't even show their kneecaps. Y'all think y'all want that? In a country that suppresses women so much, I don't want to hear about, oh, that's not what has happened, it's freedom of choice. No. 9 times out of 10, people don't actually know what freedom of choice actually means. When you've been conditioned into something your entire life and the generations before you have been conditioned in the same thing, it's not a choice, baby. You're not doing it for freedom of choice or a feminist movement. It's conditioning. Okay. And a lot of people don't understand that it's not actually freedom of choice. They don't understand how conditioning really works. So y'all in America, a lot of American women, especially Black American women, are idolizing these things they don't even fully understand. I don't care what these women tell you. It's common sense. If somebody is financially taking responsibility for you, they want something in return, period. And a lot of that revolves around their ability to control your ins and outs, your goings and comings, how you look, how you dress. And even if they don't, you are going to give up a certain amount of freedom when somebody else is flipping the bill. Period. And I don't care what these women tell y'all, you need to, if this is the type of lifestyle that you want, you need to go into it being smart. Don't expect a whole lot of that man's time. Don't expect a whole lot of love and energy to be given. See, people want a bunch of stuff that they don't really put critical thought into. Somebody got online and told y'all that a man need to be paying all y'all bills, and it sounded good because you don't really want to work. Don't none of us want to work. But what do you value? Somebody paying your bills, the price of freedom? That's okay if it is. Do whatever you want to do. It's your life. But women need to start understanding it and being 100% isn't honest with what it is that they're asking for and what it is that they're calling in. Well, y'all need to do y'all homework.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other...
I feel like she needs to be a bit more specific and say African American men, not all black men. Because honestly, I did not even know that that was a thing until I moved to the States and the internet. Aside from that, I did not know that this thing even exists. So I stand to be corrected. Maybe there are other countries where black men are expecting women to go 50-50, or they're expecting women to pay half on a date. But quite frankly, it was a foreign concept to me. I genuinely didn't know this thing exists until the internet, and I lived in the States. So you guys are teaching us new things. This is not a thing that I am aware of in my country, in South African cultures. But again, I stand to be corrected.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other...
Yo, bro, I want to know why everyone thinks black people are on par with everybody else's culture. Like, yo, look at our history. No one else has a history like us. So, like, you guys need to stop comparing us to other cultures. Like, instead of working together, we all just want to work for ourselves. Like, we're the only community that our money doesn't stay in our community. Like, you start a black-owned business, no black person wants to support you. Like, and before you say, oh, African men take care of their women, yo, Africa's cheaper to live in, eh? When I'm living paycheck to paycheck, what am I really supposed to do? Like, and then when I tell this girl, yo, stay down and come build with me, she has a problem because her friend's getting this, and this. It's like, yo, bro, stop watching other people, bro.
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
You can't blame somebody that is trying to figure out his life and you're becoming a burden to them by asking them for money. How do you expect them to hear common sense, idiots?
Black people are the only people that talk about money in relationships.
It's crazy.
Because other...
Okay, this video is probably going to be all over the place and just a lot of rambling. But I'm not really sure where women came up with this narrative and this line of thought that a man is the financial provider and caretaker. Even using caretaker makes it sound like you're looking for another father. It's just very weird to me, and it's not something that I advocate for because a lot of the times it leaves women in fucked up situations. And I believe that you should always have your own money. You should always have your own finances and have control over it, because when you don't and you rely on another human being for something as huge as finances, things can get pretty sticky, okay? And that leads to financial abuse. You cannot leave on your own accord. If he bought you a car, that's his that he can take away, honestly, at the end of the day. He holds a lot of things over your head. A lot of things can happen, okay? And I'm not going to crap on women who just value different things, which are stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home girlfriends. You do whatever it is you want to do, but I don't feel like that's prioritizing you and putting yourself first, making sure that you are always good. Because I think one of the things that people, specifically women, don't do is put themselves first. I read a post where a woman, she has values sort of like me. She thinks that you should be financially stable to enter before entering a relationship, which I think the same thing. I don't think you should be walking around looking at a man and being like, can you financially provide for me? You are 25 years old. Excuse me. You're 25 years old. You should already be financially supporting yourself. Why are you broke? What's happening here? Do you have a kid that you need? Do you need help? That's weird. Anyway, this girl wanted to be financially stable before actually entering a relationship with a man that she has been seeing. She did note that this man had several businesses, was financially well off, and
She wanted to find another career. She wanted to transition. She wasn't feeling like the happiness that she wanted to feel in her career. And she wanted to feel that. And a lot of women in the comments, all of their attention went onto the man, his wants, his needs. If she asked him for help, what are you saying? What? You disregarded her feelings and her wants and her needs and put it on to the man? All the comments were like, oh, men don't care about women's careers. That's not even the point. The point is that she cares about her career. She wants to wake up feeling fulfilled, accomplished, and she wants to find purpose in her career. She wants to transition to something else. That's the point. And she wants to be financially stable in the next career that she is in. This has nothing to do with the man. A lot of the comments were also saying, oh, did you ask him for help financially? If you think that's okay to ask of somebody and they aren't even fully in a long-term committed relationship, they aren't in a marriage, to ask somebody for money, I just don't understand where this is coming from. I think it's ludicrous. Just say you're broke. I'm all about transparency, and I think you should just say you're broke. Like, I don't understand where women are getting that men are just here to give us handouts, to give us money. It's very weird to me. You are basically just looking for another father, okay? That's not what a healthy relationship is. It's a partnership, and you two are coming together, and two incomes coming together could be part of that to build a wonderful life for yourselves, the ideal life that you two envision for yourselves. And I'm not understanding where all of these women don't want to work. And that's okay, but it doesn't make sense logically, because you're not thinking of what could potentially happen. Again, you should always be putting yourself first. And that's what men do a lot of the time. So I'm not really sure why it's so foreign for women to do this. But a lot of women will say, oh, men don't really care about women's careers, therefore you don't need to have a career. What in the world are you saying? You should wake up every day feeling excited to do whatever it is you want to do, whether it's a hobby that's turned into a side income, whether that is a full-on career that gives you excitement throughout the day, where you have the potential to accomplish a lot of goals, where you have the space to demonstrate your competency, your intelligence. Like, it's just so wild to me, you guys. It's very wild to me that women put off or throw out the door a career or a job just because men don't see it as important. That's so weird to me. You should want that for yourself. It's weird that you don't want to feel purpose in your life. And maybe, yes, two things can be true at once. Your purpose, you can feel like that's being a stay-at-home mom and being a mother. That's amazing. But a lot of people lose their identity. Like, they lose their identity in their children. They lose their identity in their relationship. And long term, they're not very happy. I've met a lot of mothers who don't have anything else besides their children and their relationship. You should always have your own life. Like, you should have your own friend group. You should have your own hobbies. If you're into archery, if you're into bowling, if you're into tennis, if you like crocheting, you need to have something outside of your relationship. I remember watching the show Outlander, and the mother is a nurse. The mother is a doctor. She's a doctor, and she's a very, very great doctor. And they lived in like the 1700s, okay? And if something happened to the husband, or if something happened to the daughter, she was like, if something were to happen to both of you, I would still have my profession. I would still have my occupation that makes me excited to wake up. I get to help people every day. I find purpose in this. That is what women need. I'm not sure why that's getting thrown out the door, because that's what you're thinking a man wants or a man needs, or that's what a man finds important. That's where women just go down the drain today. Like, they put all of their attention and focus on a man, and that's so weird. I know that's not even related to the previous video that I stitched, but I feel like it correlates a little bit, because women are losing themselves in relationships, and they think that, oh, it'll emasculate men if the man isn't the financial provider and sole caretaker. I hate using that word, caretaker, but that's what it sounds like. That it'll emasculate them. And I'm like, no, that would actually help a lot of men out. They would probably do a sigh of relief, okay? Because I read a lot of stories, which I'm very sensitive to. I read a lot of stories where men will call into a crisis hotline because they feel overwhelmed. They feel burdened by financing these expensive lifestyles from women, and they are too shameful to talk about it with their partners. And then they have 3 kids, and then they have college, and then they have the house, and then they have the cars, and then they have like all of these things that the woman wants to do. If she needs her nails and her hair done, like whatever. It gets to be a burden for some men, and they end up, taking, I don't know if you can say that on here, but it's very sad, and I'm very sensitive to it. I feel like I'm screaming right now, but I don't know where this line of thinking is coming from women. I think you really need to start putting yourself first. You need to start prioritizing yourself, and you need to start thinking about how am I going to be happy long term? What does that look like for me outside of a relationship and outside of kids, if you have them, okay? Because your kids are going to be grown and out the house. And then it's just going to be you and your husband. Like, what you need to have other things to fulfill you. You need to have other things that excite you. You need to have, like, if those 2 things, your kids and your husband, weren't there anymore, what would you feel good doing? That's what I advocate for women to do. Find purpose, find fulfillment.
All right, if you're still here, definitely you're enjoying this video. Don't forget to put your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. What is your take? Are black men the only race or the only culture that talk about money in relationship? Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section. For me, I would say not all black people, not all black men. African men that I know of, they are the providers. They will provide for you. They, as in going on a first date, you don't have to be paying 50-50. Like, it's so weird. You ask me out on the first date, you're going to pay for my dress, you're going to pay for my makeup. In fact, you are going to pay for my taxi. If I'm not driving, if I'm driving, you will fuel my car. When we get there, you will still pay for food. That is how African men operate, okay? So, and they are blacks, they are black men. So I feel like different culture, different men, different everything. But let me tell you the bad side of when a man is the sole provider for you. When a man is the one that provides everything for you, like you want to make your hair, he's one that provides. You want to eat this, he's one that provides. You want to step your leg here, you want to go out with your friends, he's one that gives you his ATM card. It's going to control you 100. He can walk into the house and tell you, give me that phone that you're holding. Who are you talking to? And you're like, I got the phone for you. I said, give me that phone. He can destroy the phone. He can collect your phone. He can tell you, sit down there. You're not going out today. He can tell you, don't wear that clothes. This clothes is too short. It's too revealing. He can just like control you. He can tell you, no, we're not eating this type of food today. This is the food we're going to eat. It's going to make you feel like you whatnot. You can't make your decision. It's going to make you feel like a child, and it's going to be like your father, if that makes sense, because he's the one solely providing for you. And because he's solely providing for you, he's not going to let you work. That's why you see some men and they will tell their wives like, no, you don't have to work. I don't like when my wife works. Don't worry, just stay at home, make children for me, and cook, clean. Don't worry, I'll go out there and provide. Of course they will go out there and provide, you're not going to work, and even if he sees you working, he will tell you, you have to stop that job. It's taking most of your time because you're working. That's why there was no food, there was no dinner served today. See, there is good side of it, and there's good side of it is that you get your bills paid 100. The bad side of it is that you can have your life, and someone has to tell you what to do before you do that. And before you even decide what you want to do, you have to ask for permission for that. And that is just the bad side of dating or getting married to Black African men, because they will provide for you, but they will control you. At the end of the day, they would also do whatever they like. And your own family doesn't even have a say. They will do whatever they like means that they might decide not to come home. They might decide to just travel without you knowing. They might just decide to do anything anyhow. They might decide to tell you, okay, see, I've decided to marry second wife. There's nothing you can do about it because they are providing for you. And when you go out there and tell your friends or family, they tell you, no, nah, boy, he's providing. Why can't you just stay? These are the bad side of when a man solely provides for you. So I would say, if a man is telling you to go 50-50 with him in a respectful way, right? I feel like you should know that you have your own stand, you have your own say, and he can't come and tell you what to do or what not. You can decide whatever you want to do. So I would not say no. I would not say it's all Black men that want to go 50-50 with you. Hardly will you see an African man that will tell you, okay, can we go 50-50? In fact, it's a shame to them. They cover their face. It's a big shame. In Nigeria, where I am, it's a big shame for the woman to be so. That's why you see when the woman is any more than the man, she tends to give the man money to act like it's the man that owns the money, so that it's going to cover his shame. It's a shame to people, to us here. But then that's why I have to bring it out here to say that not all Black men. I give it to African men, but when they provide for you 100, you don't have your life. The old freedom you think, the old freedom of this. That is why you see Muslim men provide. They work their ass off to provide. Northern Muslim men, they provide. Like, even if the wife is earning, she only spend the money on herself. She dares not spend the money on the family. She will provide 100. I mean, the man will provide 100. Like, even if he's dying, he will provide for her, provide for the family. That is their culture. They feel like a man's money is everybody's money, and a woman's money is our own money. So if you don't provide, they feel like it's a sin to them. So, and they are Black men. They won't come and meet you and tell you, let's go 50-50. No. Even knowing that they will let you stay at home. Most of those Muslim Northern women, you see them very fresh. Their skin is so creamy. They're looking so beautiful with their hijab and everything, because they're always at home 24/7. They don't work. You know why? Because their man is taking good care of them. He's the one doing all of the work. All of the work. So, you see, and they won't be able to do it. You see them, let's go out. They'll be like, no, I can't go out. My husband won't allow me. You know, that is the bad side of when a man is the only one that provides. And I will not even advise a woman to have a man being the sole provider for you. What if, I don't know, I just say this, what if he drops dead and you don't even have where to fall on? Where will you fall to? Who will you run to? Which money will you use to provide for your children, for yourself? Like, how will you bounce back? But if you have your money, you have your own money, he has his own money, you're making your money, you're working, he's working. If he even loses his job, you guys can come together and, you know, maybe it's time for you to bring out your money as well, you know. But you sitting down, allowing just one human being to be the one providing for you all year long. What if something happens to that man? And at the end of the day, you don't have any money. You have to go back to square one. I don't know. I think worst case scenario all the time. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and all of that good stuff. And please, when you subscribe, kindly turn on the post notification bell. If you have subscribed before, check if your notification bell is on, so you can get notified when I upload a new video. All right, thank you so much for sticking around again. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.